What is up, guys? My name is Coriola, and welcome to episode 2 of my Arizona Diamondbacks franchise here on Out of the Park Baseball 18. We are here today with the first midseason. The team is 28-31. We were actually just very recently a couple games over 500, and then we went on a 6-game losing streak right immediately after a 3-game losing streak. So pretty decent so far. Zach Greinke and Shelby Miller both doing really good. Greinke went out for 2 weeks. He'll be back in 2 days. He has a 1.96 ERA. Miller right now has a 1.83. The computer put Bradley in the rotation when Greinke went down, and right about the same time, Jake Barrett came off the DL. So I put him in the bullpen. Offensively, I do not believe we have any injuries. Nope. Best hitter so far has been A.J. Pollock, hitting .341, .399 on base, 5 home runs out of the leadoff spot. Iannetta 222, Peralta 256, 5 home runs. Goldschmidt 257, only 5 home runs, only 22 RBIs. Jake Lamb 220, but he has hit 11 home runs so far. Daniel Descalso 235, Hazelbaker 254, and Ahmed 214. Robbie Reyes had a 5.13 ERA, Walker 4.41, De La Rosa 6.31, and I'm really trying to get Patrick Corbin in the rotation rather than De La Rosa. I have not looked at trading him yet, but I might have to do that now to get him out of there because he's been bad, and I feel like Corbin is the better pitcher anyway. I saw Josh Colemanter. I wouldn't be opposed to trading for another veteran, especially a former Diamondback. There's Gerardo Parra, another former D-back. Diamondbacks were the team I did my first franchise with back in MLB 2K11 on the Wii, which is kind of crazy to think about. But I know a lot about probably too much about the history of Arizona Diamondbacks players. I apologize for my squeaky chair. I saw Tyler Wilson from Baltimore, and I like that trade. You know, young reliever, not doing great, but I'd rather have him in my bullpen than De La Rosa starting. So that will be our first transaction of the series. Trading Tyler Wilson for Tyler Wilson, giving up Jorge De La Rosa, and hopefully Corbin will be our new starter. Bullpen-wise, Andrew Chafin's done pretty well as a closer, 3.16. Kevin Munson coming off DL, only pitched 4 innings, 10.38 ERA. Jake Barrett, 3.63. Rodney, 8.10. Delgado, 3.10. Godley, 1.74. Corbin, 5.24. Still better than De La Rosa. And Wilson was in like the 5s with Baltimore. Yes, he was. All right, so one move I did make off-screen was hire Theo Epstein as our scouting director. And I did not do this just because he was better than our other guy. Well, basically, but I didn't do it just based on ratings. When I went into the draft pool, I'm using the real prospects, so I kind of know who is supposed to be good, at least ratings-wise, initially, and who's not. And when I saw he had only 2 players with above a 3.5 overall potential, and they were a closer and Jaron Kendall. And that's when I decided that my former scout was not good enough, so I hired Theo Epstein. He has been with us for 24 games since the draft pool was revealed. But speaking of draft, that is what is on the table today. I don't know why the Twins are highlighted. I don't know. I guess because they're on the clock. Maybe. Anyway, here is what's his face? Epstein's pool, better than my old guy. And let's get this started. I am, let me say, terrible at the amateur draft. In my Royals personal franchise, I don't think I've had one first-round pick make the majors, and all the others have been busts. Actually, a second one did, but he was bad. So I really need to make something count. I know who I want. I don't know if he'll be there when we draft. So I would love Jaron Kendall. He's not going to make it all the way down. And I forgot who I really wanted. It might have been Keston here. Let's see. All right, first pick, Minnesota takes Hunter Green, the first high school right-handed pitcher to go number 1 overall. In my Royals save, they actually did take him number 1. Didn't sign him next year, number 2 overall pick. They drafted him again. So Minnesota and Hunter Green are destined. Jaron Kendall, best outfield hitter, or best college hitter, most likely goes to Cincinnati. Royce Lewis, shortstop, goes number 3 to San Diego, our division rivals. Tampa Bay takes Alex Fido, a good pitcher. OSA thinks he's got good control, but Theo is not so sure. Arizona, nope, I was reading that one. Atlanta takes Austin Beck, who I might have taken. He's got really good hitting ratings. Another, probably the second best outfielder. And then last before us, Oakland takes Quentin Holmes. He made it to Chicago in my Royals save, and that's the last time I'm going to talk about that Royals save. So, let's look at some picks. Keston Hiura, the strikeouts and actually not the strikeouts, but more the eye and the power. I'm not so sure, but really good contact, good gap power. I'm not taking Impossible Guy 7th overall. Carl Chester, kind of similar to Hiura, except not on the same plateau. Nick Prato, first baseman who doesn't really have a lot of power for a first baseman. Really good contact, just not the power I'd look for. Evan Skog, power hitting catcher, looks like he strikes out a lot. Alejandro Torrell, again, not a lot of power from the first base spot. And J.B. Bukowskis, $6 million is quite a bit for that. Sam Carlson, a high school pitcher, is also well regarded by Theo, but not by OSA. Another catcher, Pavin Smith at first base, who looks really, really good from OSA standpoint. But I don't think I'm taking a first baseman here. So yeah. I'm leaning towards Keston Hiura right now because the starters are not great. Got Tanner Burns, only 50 movement. That really doesn't cut it in the major leagues. That's just a lot of home runs waiting to happen. There's not really another pitcher that stands out to me. Although Tristan Beck is a well-regarded name, just doesn't look like Theo loves him quite as much. So, kind of an underwhelming draft class. But my first pick in the series is going to be Keston Hiura, a left fielder from the College of Not Listed. They don't do that anymore this year. So Hiura, our number one overall pick, not Hiura. And there we go. Next generation. All right, second round, pick 8 this time. A lot of guys after the board. Here's a guy who I always really like in this game. Matthew Annunziata. And I'm going to look through other guys, but I'm feeling like Annunziata. Also, I've decided to pay more attention to the OSA ratings this year. Not based on, I think that's how you determine a good prospect from a not so good one, but it's just I don't trust their ratings. I trust the fact that they agree with my scouting director. So yeah, I'm going to take Annunziata here in the second round. I really like him at third base. On to the next round. The catcher I wanted went off the board, unfortunately. Later in the draft, I kind of start paying less attention to OSA, but there's another catcher I could take to make up for not. Let's look at pitchers, because I'd like to get at least one low-level pitcher. And they're all gone. Michael Bowman. Wow. Starting pitching really went fast this draft. All right. At this point, I'm going to see what Theo says. Take a look at his. He says Bryce Jordan, who's a third baseman, who I did like a decent bit. Honestly, unless, good shortstop here. I actually kind of like Darren Miller right here. I feel like his hitting ratings are better than that. Or Monty Mills. No, not really. Alright, I'm going to take Jordan and then hope Darren Miller makes it to my next pick. And he does, so we will take him there. In round 3, we had 2 second-round picks, in case you didn't notice when I went out. Center fielder Marco Rivera looks like a solid look at, or Bo Jordan. Left fielder, I'm going to take Jordan. Bo Jordan, left field. And next round, Rivera, if he's still there, which he is not. So let's look through the rest of these guys. Anyone who really stands out? Here's a third baseman with good power number. Not according. I'm looking for just kind of a consensus. Left fielder with a lot of power. Decent ratings from OSA, doesn't seem to have that same power. Shortstop. Yeah, I'll take Grayson Bird. Theo likes him decently, and OSA has him really high, so I think that's a good pick there. Alright. He says Byron Hood. Starting pitcher, don't really like that much. I know it's good to listen. I'm going to look for something else here. There's Travis Jones. Here's one. Catcher, Ryan McCullers. Looks like he's pretty solid offensively. And there is that consensus between OSA and Theo Epstein. So I will draft him. Next pick. Another catcher who's got better strikeouts according to OSA, so I will approve of that. Oop, we already auto-drafted. I always like looking. There's Byron Hood again. And, it's later round. Why not take a shot on him? And I'm going to look through these guys with decent potential, and unless there's someone I really like, I'll take Travis Jones. Anyone not really standing out. So we'll take Travis Jones, and then that'll be it for me. We will let Theo Epstein finish the rest of the... Not Theo, does our assistant GM do it, or is our scouting director? I actually do not know. I don't know who our assistant GM is either. But, alright. Negotiations begin. We've got 6 guys here. No one impossible was drafted in the later round. I think Correa is going to be a good player. I'm glad I ended up pulling the trigger on him. But I will see you guys back for International Amateur Season, July 2nd. All right, we are back on July 2nd. We are 39-43 now, 4 games below 500. We are in 3rd place by half a game. 16.5 games, though, behind the 56-27 San Francisco Giants. Here we have our hitting coach whose contract is expiring, and I don't think we're going to bring him back. A review of the midseason goals. He's happy so far. And we have International Amateur Free Agency, which reminds me I would like to promote the eligible in my book, and by eligible I mean over 18 years of age, to the minor league system. I don't cut anyone, I just promote them. They all get an opportunity. All right. Top is Jason Caballo, a catcher. Then we got Hector Lucero, another catcher who I like more and is less expensive. And then we've got Daniel Bautista, a short. Whoops. That was not supposed to happen. So I clicked on Colorado, a shortstop. I really like Bautista. We're getting him. Hope. I also like this left fielder. I do like the catcher, Lucero, but maybe it's time to go for more bargains, like Jose Colon. Maybe a Jeffrey Marte will be our top expenditure, or Yamano Marinet. A lot of good shortstops, it seems. Good third baseman right there, Christopher Martinez. He wants a decent amount of money, though. Luis Paez wants a lot of money for not great ratings. Julio Rodriguez. Amin Valdez. Jose Bonilla, a decent right fielder who I'd like to look at if his ratings are low. Left fielder's probably out of our price range, and then the 1-stars. Who's that left fielder or right fielder? Bonilla, yeah. I knew this guy would want a lot of money. So first guy I'm going to offer to is Daniel Bautista. You don't have to offer quite double, so I think 1.5 is fair for him. And I also really liked Cosma, but he is quite expensive. And Martinez is even more expensive. Who's the other guy I liked? The right fielder, Bonilla. Alright, so I'm going to go with the left fielder, Cosma. Offer him 2.8 mil. And we have $700K to spend on one last player, and we'll offer that to Jose Colon. Later, we'll see if the first two guys sign first. We have a rubber match against Colorado here. We won the first, lost the second. Take the third to win the series. Trade proposal from the Cardinals. Johnny Peralta for Oswaldo Arcia. No thanks. Arcia's having a pretty good season so far. Off the bench. Oh, I also called up Raymond Fuentes. And I don't remember who I sent down. We've got 3 in LA taking on the Dodgers. Lose the first pretty badly. And sign both of the guys that we wanted, Cosma and Bautista. So let's check who's left. Jose Colon is right there. We could get him for that $700K. What about Bonilla? No. We could not. So, yeah, we'll offer Jose Colon our remaining money. And then I think we got 3 pretty solid players, if he's assuming he signs, for our international amateurs class. Lose the first 2. Can we salvage the series? No, we can't. Getting swept by the Dodgers. Lose a 4th straight to Cincinnati, and Colon says no. The Indians are offering him $800K. Can I try to cheat the system? No. Shoot. Anyone else getting way lowballed? That's too low. Jeffrey Marte, yeah, no. Looks like we are going to have to pass on the rest of international amateurs. But we lose 5 straight. Get a little achievement there. I kind of read it, but I'd like to finish. I wish they told you the day after. I wish they told you today instead of yesterday. Jose Colon goes to Cleveland. Our all-star is AJ Pollock, having a 4.3 win season so far. Only second to, looks like, Arenado, and third to Votto. As far as war for all-stars. I cannot get a trade for Greinke. No one wants to take on his contract. Shelby Miller, still in arbitration. He's relatively controllable. And I don't think I'm going to get a great package for him. Well, I'm going back and forth again like I did last time. I don't think we get a great package for him, although it's taking a while to create all these pictures. Jordan Zimmerman, Alex Gordon, Phil Hughes, Francisco Cervelli. Yeah, those are the top names. Not really inspiring to me. Goldschmidt is still... I don't really know what we could do. We could probably get a really good return for Pollock. He only has 1 year after this left with us. So although he is a stud, we will have to seriously consider shopping him around. I know it would really hurt morale of our fans and of our team because he's a beast. I did see Robert Stevenson, Alec Asher, decent names. Yeah. We could get Jake Arrieta from the Cubs. Wow. Alright, hello subscriber. Carlos Santana, a bunch of you guys on 1-year deals, not really any prospects. Logan Lombana doesn't even have a third pitch according to the USA ratings. Drew Smiley is a year away from free agency. Yeah, there are only a lot of pending free agents. AJ Moore from Texas, decent, but not worth giving up. Pollock. I'm going to look through these low-level ones and see if any of them really inspire anything in me. No, maybe, no, maybe. Here's one, Edis Leonard. And then Marianas. How much money would it take from me to get? Too much, of course. Alright, let's just keep going. We've lost 6 out of 8 games to start the month. AL wins the All-Star game 11-1. Back in action. Quite a red second half. We've got Atlanta, Cincinnati, Washington, Atlanta, and St. Louis as we lose the first 2 games by 1 run. Teams starting to lose some of the magic from earlier in the season. We lose all 3 games by just 1 run, which is always tough. 10 games under 500 now. We get a bounce back versus Cincinnati. Lose a second. Can we take the series? It gets rained out and will be rescheduled on the 31st. Washington, we take game 1 from them. Lose a second. Salvage the third. We do not lose that by 3-2 score. Philadelphia offering Howie Kendrick for Randy Federico. No, I don't need Kendrick. Lose 6-0 here. Just 2 hits by Gio Gonzalez, who's having a fantastic season so far. We got 3 against Atlanta again. Lose our 4th straight versus them. 5 straight as a team, or 5 straight against Atlanta, 4 straight as a team, and Brandon Drury is fine. St. Louis again offering veteran shortstop. So looks like the hot start's kind of wearing down. We do save the 3rd game. Lose the first to St. Louis. Lose the first 2. Game 3. Nope. Yeah, kind of turned into a frustrating season for the Diamondbacks. Now here's a trade I'm going to accept. It is a young left fielder for Hank Conger. And even though this left fielder's not great, at least we're getting some value for, Hank Conger. All right. Let's look through my staff. There's one guy in particular I would like to look to trade, and that is Chris Iannetta. He's not had a great season, but maybe he has some value with another team. This episode's not going on too long. I don't think I need to cut out at this point in time. We at 100. Victor Martinez would be an interesting pickup. Noriye Oki. Yeah, not a lot of, young talent. Which, to be fair for Chris Iannetta. Matt Adams is interesting. Unfortunately, this is the National League and we don't have a DH. Although Theo does like him decent amount. We could use a shortstop. I think Jordy Mercer might make a good addition, but then again, we would be left short at catcher. So, what can you do for me as far as catchers go? You have Cervelli, your starter. Your backup is Chris Stewart. And apparently it's a very bad deal for them to get rid of Chris Stewart. So, no on the Iannetta front. Del Scalzo, maybe. Let's look at that. I can't really think of a trade that I really want to pull off right now. All right. 100%. Willie Peralta for Daniel Del Scalzo. Shit, I might just have to do that right now. That's a pretty good trade. You know, not doing great, but he's got good potential, not rating, but like he has the capacity to be good. He's 28 years old. For a veteran shortstop, I think that's a fair deal. Now we have to get rid of someone on our pitching staff, and I think it's obvious who we should look to move. In case you couldn't figure out, it's the man I just clicked, so... Jake McGee, Jason Vargas, who's not very good in this game. All right, all pitchers except for one position player, which I was kind of looking for in Pablo Sandoval. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. Put Archie Bradley in the rotation instead of Corbin. That's a bit frustrating. Corbin is free agent eligible. It does not appear he has enough days to be a free agent. Alright, let's simulate one more day. Michael Waka. We win 3-1. I will shop around Delgado, but other than that, looks like we're going to be done for this deadline. Not a lot really going on against Sandoval. That's really it. Anyone else on offense in the outfield, maybe? I'll see what I could get for Oswaldo Arcia, and then probably sound off for the episode. Aaron Blair. I saw Aaron Blair. Idani Hechavarria. Yeah, this is pretty good offers. I saw that Aaron Blair offer. Get him back from Atlanta. Not great potential. Although I'm sure we could get more than just him. Chris Tillman, Wellington Castillo, former Diamondback. Boone Logan, Dustin Garneau. A pretty good catcher for Colorado. A little concerned trading in division. Not the end of the world. Royal signed Brett Laurie. Why would you do that? He's awful. Tommy Malone from Milwaukee, who we just traded with. Jesus Aguilar, our first baseman. Starling Castro. Curtis Granderson. Chris Davis. I think that's an upgrade. If they're offering Chris Davis for Oswaldo Arcia, I almost have to take it. But at the same time, I am intrigued by Aaron Blair, so I'm going to check that out. I assume we couldn't get any decent prospect in return. I would love to get Gerald Cotton. Yeah. No, not happening. Barreto? Probably not. Yeah, it was a joke. Rangel Ravelo? Wow, my mouse is really struggling right now. Yeah, no. Oh, yes, actually. All right. So we could get him for, say, this Ivan Pinheiro. Fine, giving him up. Maybe one more in if I could get Richie Martin or Paul Blackburn. All right, so I guess I'll do this: Oswaldo Arcia and Ivan Pinheiro for Chris Davis and Rangel Ravelo. I'm pretty happy with this deal, so we will do that. They're happy that we acquired Chris Davis, so now we have one less. We still have one too many pitchers. Do you have options? We will use one of those and look at our infielders. Overall ratings, obviously not great. Let's check our AAA. Vargas looks like he's probably the best option, so we will promote him. And yeah, he'll be starting at second over Brandon Drury, who's having a pretty nice season. So I'm not really sure about that so far, but I'm happy with moves we made this deadline. Kind of not really going anywhere right now. Jake Lamb's ratings have really gone up, even though he continues to strike out way too much. But other than that, I think that is it for today. Let's take a look at our top prospect, see how he's doing so far. He's hitting 286, not bad. I should trade Ionetta because we have Oscar Hernandez. All right. Do we have a shop left? Yeah. All right. I forgot about Hernandez, so I think he deserves a shot at the big. So let's see again what we can get for Ionetta. If not, we'll send down our backup. Daniel Descalso. I saw that, you sneaky Doug. Pedro Alvarez. Wow. Okay. Wow, a lot more value this time than last. Trevor Rosenthal. That might be a good upgrade to our bullpen. Problem is he is expensive and only has 1 year left. So I think we'll stand pat where we are. So that does it for today's episode. Still in kind of rebuilding mode. Hope you guys did enjoy. Thank you for watching, and thanks for all the wonderful, amazing support you guys have given for episode 1. It's been awesome so far. Keep it up, guys. Thanks for watching. See you all next time. Goodbye.